All right, we're back. We got audio now? Yes, we do. Here, you see it there? Is the answer yes to the audio?
It just now came up with yes.
All right, I see it. I see a little thing here on the screen that says I have audio, so I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, well, very good. We're gonna jump in there. And tonight the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net, and the what do you call it? The 144.240 2-meter sideband net, which is gonna be immediately following that. And I'm gonna jump right in here since I don't know how many people are gonna check in, but we had almost as many people at the breakfast as we have on a net, so I'm not sure if we're going to double up on that tonight or not. But let's go ahead and we're taking check-ins from the. Lost my notebook. You can see I'm really prepared here. I made a decision to go out and work out in the gym. Too close to the net time is what happened. So anyway, we're starting the south. It's our number 552 in our series of nets. 552. We're starting from the south. So let's take south of 40. Please come now. All right, I got a Larry in there, K4SYV. Hold on. And it was a double or triple in there. But Larry, you doing all right?
Doing good. I gained 3 pounds.
Well, in your case, I'm not sure that's such a bad thing. You're not very heavy. It's me that I have to worry about it. I bet you got drowned out at home today, huh?
No, I got home before the rain started, and after that, everything broke out on us.
Oh no, I was thinking about you actually got a lot of rain on your property. That's what I meant.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of that.
All right, well, very good. I think we got a lot of that everywhere. I know we did here too as well. Very good. There was Larry. He's in Rockville, KE4SYV, Rockville. Who else, Sal? Well, I'm going to take Bill because that's the one I've heard. That was KM4 November Yankee. Did they get right, didn't I, Bill?
Correct. You got it right tonight. Ain't much new here except been raining about all day, and I'm glad you had a lot of people for breakfast.
Oh man, it was I got what I was going to say is I got to stop paying people to come to breakfast. I'm going to go broke.
As windy as it was, I didn't want to be up there.
Oh, I agree. I did not expect many people to show up. I really didn't, just due to the impending supposed weather disaster in the news. My wife had me convinced we had to put in a storm cellar and a protected concrete enclosure for tornado.
Well, it's a good idea if you got enough money for all that. I haven't got much to say, and I know you're running a little behind, so I'll turn it off back over to you. KM4NNY will be clear.
You're too kind. I do not have a little behind, but thank you, Bill. That was KM4, November Yankee. That's Bill in Murfreesboro. Who was the other double or triple in there?
Norway, Quebec, 2 Bravo.
Norway, Quebec, 2 Bravo. How are you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good there. How are you doing tonight, Paul?
Well, I got too much in a hurry. That's what I got. And that's why I was a little screwed up here in the beginning here.
Yeah, I was just hoping that the antenna made it through the storm. We had some good gusts down here in Brentwood. I'm actually at a 63-mile-an-hour gust register on the weather station, so it's nice watching the 700 bend over almost to the ground and pop right back up. I was just hoping it didn't do any damage, so it sounds like it's still working.
Oh, you really did have gusts that strong, huh? 60 or over 60?
Yes, sir. It was kind of frightening. The house sounded like, how the old houses creak whenever the wind comes through.
Oh yeah. I start to get a little nervous. It's like my wife says. She goes, "What are you afraid of, the roof or the shingles?" Or I said, "No, not really. We have insurance." I said, "What I'm always afraid of in high winds is flying debris."
Nothing like a tree stump through the front picture window, right?
Or whatever. I mean, when I lived in Florida, we'd get where I lived in Tampa. We didn't have any direct hits, but we get some really strong, perimeter winds there, whatever they call feeder bands they call them. And I looked out the window on one of those days when we had some. I'm going to say it was consistent winds at, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40. I don't exaggerate. But when you see a trash can flying down your front of your yard, on the road, going about 30 miles an hour, you go, yeah, I think it's a little windy.
Yeah, kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Whenever the cow starts flying by the window, you're in trouble.
Oh yeah, and as you know, those, even in this area, the tornadoes. I think I saw it in Middle Tennessee. It picks up houses and moves them off foundation.
Yes, it tends to do that on occasion. Yeah, it's I think somebody told me today it was called Dixie Alley. I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah, very good, Carl. I don't know. I just wish it didn't happen. I mean, those kind of things ruin people's lives and their properties. So, but you got to take what you get if you live it. Otherwise, it's a great area to live. Well, very good, Carl. Thanks for the weather report. I didn't know it got that high. It was a news service saying the same thing, that the gusts actually were that high.
That's just my weather station. I know that they did announce some 45 to 48 mile an hour winds on M-tiers when we were listening. But all I know is I lost one wire on my hex beam, and that's just my own fault. I didn't wire, didn't put enough of those zip ties up on one leg, and I forgot about it, and it finally bit me.
Well, that's repairable. Thankfully, that would be all the damage. You ought to be grateful. Carl, appreciate it. That's November, Quebec 2 Bravo, and he's in Brentwood. 60 mile an hour winds at his home during that little storm. I say little, it was big enough. Who else south?
K4TYJ.
Hey, Jim. How about you? No big high winds on your mountaintop?
No, it didn't get that bad. Most of the bad stuff stayed to the west of us.
Oh, good. So it was moving like straight up and missed kind of northeast and missed you mostly.
Yeah, exactly. And when the heavy rains hit, the winds just about stopped. I was shocked. I was expecting the fire and brimstone and knock my trees and antennas down, but no, it didn't get that way.
Well, I'm thankful because, as you know, high winds, the damages they cause is awful because it can uproot trees and those fall into homes and, well, at worst off, antennas.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we fared very well, so I'm happy about all that. But anyways, back to net control and the Titan football game we watched, and I'm glad y'all had a good breakfast.
Oh yeah, well we wouldn't be able to fit you in anyway. We made you sit outside.
That's all right.
Very good, Jim. Good to have you in there. That's Jim down. He's down in Woodbury. That's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. Who else south? Over to the east then, east of Mount Juliet.
WA4ZHI.
Hey, James, what's up? You didn't make it this morning. I was hoping to see you there.
No, I thought I'd avoid the wind and the rain.
I thought that's what everybody was going to do, quite honestly. I really did. I didn't expect many people to show up. But again, it was one of our biggest breakfasts. I don't know. Maybe too bad weather promotes people coming to breakfast, I guess.
Might not have been enough room with me there.
We would have. No, there was a chair or two, and we could have pulled some more in there. It was no big deal. It was really kind of funny that it really was odd to me that many people showed up, knowing full well there was going to be heavy weather.
Well, I knew people that live real far from here wouldn't come probably.
One of the fellows came from Hendersonville, and people from Lebanon, farther than you for sure. And then I'm trying to think who else came. It was farther away. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but there was quite a few people that weren't from right in Mount Juliet. Eddie, he lives in over there in Gladeville, man. It's like miles and miles away. All right, well, very good, James. I'm glad everything worked out well for you, though, staying home. No big deal at the house?
No, well, we didn't get any damage. It was a little scary. There was a lot of wind and shaking.
Oh, I know. It's funny how we get anxious about that kind of stuff. But generally speaking, the Weather Service seems to hype those things more than they really are. Maybe they're supposed to. I don't know. They seem to do that everywhere I live. Anyway, good to have James in there. That's Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. He's here in Mount Juliet, just about 2 or 3 miles from me. So his signal's always great. He'd be great with an HT. Who else east?
Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo.
Hey, listen, I don't want to tell everybody what color your cup was, but you left it at the restaurant.
Well, I can't help it. My wife was hungry.
John, no, it said, what color is that cup? It's like a pinkish purple or something.
Do what now?
That cup you brought with you. Didn't you leave a cup at the breakfast this morning?
No, I brought that joker home.
Well, then somebody else left the cup.
Yeah, that wasn't mine. That was somebody else's. I don't know who it was, but no, mine blue with red lettering on it.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was yours. I'm trying to remember who I saw handling that cup. And now I can't. For some reason, in my mind, I thought it was you. Never mind.
Not guilty. I enjoyed breakfast this morning, though, and I'm glad everybody showed up that did. And some of the folks that are usually there didn't show up, but that's okay. Maybe they'll get back next time. Like you say, there ain't no hard and fast rule. Y'all carry on. Thanks for what you do. I'll talk to you when I can. 73s, KI4SIP.
All All right. You think everybody who showed up just was thinking I owed him money or something. All right. That was Richard. He's over in Lebanon. Kilo, India, 4, Sierra, India, Bravo. Again, in Lebanon. Good signal. And good to see you again, Richard. Who else? East, please come in.
C4TWR.
Ah, where are you mobile, West?
I'm almost home. I'm on 70 coming into Watertown.
Oh, yeah. No, you're a little bit of picket fence in there, but I can still copy real good.
Going up Pruitt Hill. Everybody knows what that is. All right. I'm out. KE4TWR.
Very good. That was Wes. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India, pulling into Watertown off of 70, getting to his house out there near Watertown. Again, it's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Who else east? WD4BWC. Jeff, you doing all right? Missed you this morning, man. I expect you to be there. The heavy weather man.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
Well, I know you didn't make it. But no, it was good to have a good crowd. Really, it's like a net. If everybody showed up for the breakfast, we'd have to rent the whole restaurant.
That would be awesome.
Oh, it would be. It was awesome to have that many. Really, it was. I think we're starting like a cult or something out there.
That's good too.
Nah, where it's all good. It's all good to have like-minded people. Well, people. Let's put it this way: not necessarily like-minded, but people with very similar and common interests, and have a good time talking to each other.
That's great, you know.
Oh, I think it is. Yeah, even Bill showed up. Bill, yeah, Bill. You know Bill. Was it WKU? WU, excuse me.
KK4WU.
That's the one. WU. Anyway, yeah, he was there too. I forgot. He left a little early though, but no, he was in there good. And so was Murph. He was there too.
That's good.
Yeah, man. That's why you should have been.
Next time.
All right, sounds good. Very good. That was Jeff. That's that Whiskey 9. Excuse me. Whiskey Delta 4 and Bravo Whiskey Charlie. Jeff, he's over in Lebanon as well. Who else east?
KN4LXH.
How high did you get your antenna there, Jimmy?
No, it's still sitting about 12 feet off the ground. I have my beam and tower are down, and I've got to rework the concrete base.
Okay. Well, you're doing fine to me. How do you find the receive on this so far? I mean, any more experience?
Yeah, I'm recording, call signs to check in and where they're at, and definitely I'm limited to the south. I'm not hearing a lot of people to the south.
Well, that would be pretty normal, just due to the elevation issue where you are, and coming up over Mount Juliet and down to the south too far. You know what I'm saying? Everybody seems to have somewhat of a problem, but I'm guessing that most of that's going to go away when you get that antenna up there.
Well, I'm assuming the actual lower third of the antenna is below the peak of the roof, so the south, radiation is being blocked a good bit.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah, very good. You got some issues there, but well, good. I'm glad it's at least you're seeing some improvements, and you're going to be the test case for the new the Harvest X9, X700 antenna.
Yeah, I guess so. Still trying to figure out how to read the instructions because maybe I did something wrong.
I don't know. I know you had that picture on there. There's no way I could see that, read that. That wouldn't make any sense for me to send it to me because I don't read Mandarin or whatever it is.
Unless you know somebody who's Chinese, it won't help.
No, I don't know anybody personally who's Chinese, but I'm wondering. Nah, I'd have to convert it to something because I could put it in Google Translation, but so could you. But I don't think it takes images; it takes text.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll try that. I didn't know you could do that. At any rate, good talking to you, and back to you.
Very good, Jimmy. That's Jimmy. He's here in Mount Juliet, up there by Lebanon Road, north of the high school, and that's Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel. Trying out the new, it's that Harvest X910, the diamond, same stock number, but different manufacturer. He's going to be our test case. Who else east? Anybody else east of Mount Juliet? I'm hearing clicking going on.
Okay, I'm sorry, okay.
Is that you clicking?
Could be.
All right. You survived the wind and water today?
Yeah, we got a good bit of wind earlier and a good bit of rain. I think it's must be all past now.
Oh yeah, no, it's nice that it's gone. I know that it's even when I was in Florida, I remember reading for those listening who care about the weather service like Jimmy does because he retired from those people. But there was NOAA had a publication about hurricanes, about Florida hurricane, and it said that in spite of the damage that hurricanes cause, it clears out a lot of dead wood from trees. It brings the water table back up to where it belongs, and I think those were the two issues they said the most. It brings the water table up and cleared out dead trees. So I don't know. I don't really. I guess I care about that stuff. Florida needs water. Anyway, Stan, good to have you in there. Good signal as always. That's Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo, and he's again a little bit north of downtown Lebanon. Who else east? Up to the north then, north of Mount Juliet.
W4DBV.
Hey, using the amplifier? Brian?
I'm sorry, who are you talking to?
I'm sorry, Brian. Are you using an amplifier there? I got a good signal tonight.
Must be an accident. Either that or the HD's about to burn up. No, I think we putting out about 5 watts, maybe 5.5. They're the same old attic J-pole with a couple of homebrew parasitic elements. That's the signal your way.
Ah, you're doing great. That's S5 on the meter.
Holy smokes, I'm running too much power.
Oh, you need to back it off, man.
Yeah, I think I better go down to 2.5 watts, see how that goes. But unfortunately, that involves getting out the instruction book, so I'm just going to leave it.
Nah, I'd leave it. You're doing fine. There's probably more people. Maybe there's 1 or 2 more people who can hear you now.
And much to their regret. But anyway, good to hear everybody, and it was really great to see everybody at Courtney's this morning. We had a great time. I enjoyed it anyway, and very, very good event.
Yeah, all we need now is, I guess the attraction is us, because we don't have any real attractions other than ourselves.
Well, we had a nice consensus of people with common sense, so that's always enjoyable. That's kind of rare and worth seeking out. W4DBB.
Yeah, there's an old saying that says that we usually attribute common sense to those who agree with us.
I agree.
Very good. That was Brian, Whiskey 4, Delta, Bravo, Victor. DB. Yeah, Delta, Bravo, Victor. He's in Northwest Wilson County. Who else with his famous J-pole with a director and a reflector pointing in our direction, or pointing in my direction, I should say. It does great, though. S5 is awesome for what he's got in the attic. I see J-pole, but it's a modified J-pole in the attic, a supercharged J-pole. Just want to qualify. All right, who else north? Over to the west, please come down.
KM4YRF.
Very good to see you. I didn't see Rick this morning. Where was he?
Rick is a little under weather today.
Okay. Is he going to be on the air?
I hope so.
Oh, good. How you doing? I didn't get to talk to you this morning.
I'm doing good, Paul. We had a good time today.
Yeah, it was. It was a good time. Like I say, it's we're going to have to start renting a room or something.
Well, we got a great bunch of guys that meet together and have fun.
I think so. And the oddity of that is it all get generated from a Yankee. What's wrong with that?
I don't know. The only thing, Richard's a little questionable. That's the only thing.
Yeah, very good. They're good. That was Michael. He's in Belshire. That's Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Yeah, I'm sorry if I don't tell Rick doesn't come in tonight. Just to give him my regards, please.
Will do. And just teasing Richard.
Who else? West, please come in.
I represent that remark. 4, don't juggle turtles.
All right, we got whiskey. Is it whiskey 4? Is it whiskey 4 down? I forgot already.
November 4.
Oh, that was close. And November 4 Delta Juliet Tango, and that's Don. How you doing, Don?
Pretty good, Paul. How you been? Everybody survived the weather. I had some gusts about 40 up here, sustained. Was probably about 25 at the height, and X700 was doing its thing, and the 10-meter antenna on top of the tower is doing its dance. I put it up there temporarily when I decided to go a different route for the Yagis. So it's sitting up there on top of bolted to the side of a 2-inch mast to a 1.25-inch TV mast, and I was a little anxious about that setup because it was temporary, and I was hoping to have the situation in hand before we had any storms like in the spring, but Mother Nature had other ideas. But everything held fine. All my wires stayed up the tag tower, of course, budge with 8-foot square concrete. I wasn't going nowhere. But yeah, everything got out good. I'm just trying to get some weather so I can finish up the VHF tower and wait for my new Yagi to get here. I can tackle that. But yeah, the weather's just moving my butt, you know.
Just be glad you didn't have the hex beam put up.
It would have came down. No, it probably wouldn't have, but it would have been a code brown, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, no, it's like I say, that was actually a minor storm in the manner of speaking, even with a 60 mile an hour wind. It's when it gets up in 70s, 80s, 90s that I would really start to get anxious.
Yeah, that antenna's just too big. That's why it's in my garage, on my shed. Maybe I'll put it on the buy-sell swap or swindle net at some point and make somebody a good deal on it. So I'm never going to put it up. I ordered a Navasa 5 JK antenna. It's a little easier to wrangle. It's a short boom, 2 elements, 20 through 10. I think it's a 6-meter kit because I have a 5-element 6-meter Yagi I'm putting up. And it's a little easier for me to wrangle by myself and get on and off the mast, no problem. And it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing antenna. It doesn't look like an old woman's washer line.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, well, let's hope we survive the next storm. We don't need any more like that. That was Don. He's in Bon Aqua. We probably got the brunt of the way the storm was moving west of Nashville, kind of west of where he was. And it's just where it seemed to be dragging itself over coming by us. Anyway, that's November 4, Delta Juliet Tango in Bon Aqua. Don. Who else west?
Kilo November 4, Tango Juliet Foxtrot.
Oh, man. So you're well enough to get on the air, but not well enough to drag your butt over the breakfast?
Well, I was well enough. I thought I was going to spend the day with my son today, and that didn't happen. So I got up, and it was storming, raining really bad. I thought it'd be a bad decision. So I just hurried to the house.
Yeah, it could be a bad decision. You're right. That's why I did not expect a big crowd today. I really didn't, because the weather maniacs on the local stations were all saying there were, high winds and gusts to 60 all over the place, and tornado watches and tornado warnings, and it made it sound like it was the apocalypse.
Yeah, it was pretty windy. We had quite a few leaves and limbs on the road here, but nothing major happened. So we're blessed for that. And right now, I'm watching the Titans beat the Ravens.
Hey, what's the score? I don't have that on the ear. My wife's got the TV. Is it a good lead?
Well, Titans are 14, Baltimore's 3.
And it must be near the half, right?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great if they won.
I sure would, man. I would really, really like that.
Yeah, I felt the same way in Tampa when they won their first Super Bowl. They, it was like, okay, they can do this. Then you think, well, maybe they can do it. Maybe they're doing it. Maybe they're doing it. You keep on going, hedging on it. And then you can see them, the lead built up and the clock's running out. And you go, at the end, I can't believe they did that.
I know, that's what I felt last week when they played Patriots.
Oh, I know it. It's amazing, though, how it's never, well, as they say, it's never over till it's over.
Yeah, there's a lot of football left yet. But, they started off on a good foot, and I'm proud of them for that. So if we can hang in there and win this, that'd be great. If not, I'm still a Titans fan.
Well, that's right. I understand if they win, the owner's going to give you part of the action.
Ah, you're right.
Right. That's Rick. Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot. He's over in Ashland City. So any progress on that? I should ask Mike, your brother, about that Yagi, because today wasn't a good day to do any work. So.
Yeah, got it built. I got to get me a couple of posts. I got to get it up in there, but it's built, ready to go. Waiting on me.
Oh, that's awesome! I can't wait to hear the results on that. And besides, your signal's good anyway. I mean, today, in spite of this crazy weather we've had, your signal was great. Anyway, again, that's Rick, Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot, Ashland City, making a good trip, 35 miles or so. Who else? West.
WY4G.
Hey, there's the man from Madison. How you doing there, Jeff?
Okay, just trying to dry out. I had to work today on a part-time job. I was out into stuff. I was out this morning. I was out at a place when a microburst came through. You know, I mean, there for a few seconds, it got pretty. It's kind of questionable, but I saw things flying by, and I didn't know what was. I thought it was, well, here it is, but after that, it just went away.
Well, it was just a severe down blast, or just high winds instantaneously? Was that what you had?
Yeah, everybody started going sideways there for, probably about 15, 20 seconds. Then it just, died away. And the guys who were at the shop I was at, they started taking pictures of it with cell phones. But, it got interesting there for a little bit.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it was really pounding in here in Mount Juliet for a little, like you said, not a very long time, but it really was coming down hard.
This, winds and everything, all this debris just started blowing sideways, and, going by the shop. It just, I thought, well, what was forecast is actually happening, but after that just died down, it didn't do what all the news media or meteorologists were forecasting.
Well, I'm glad it came up short. It's always better that way.
Yeah, it sure is. I didn't have but a few dead limbs out my yard, so it wasn't that bad. Not to where I live anyway.
All right. Well, very good, Jeff. Glad you're in there, and I'm glad you survived the day, even though you had to work. That was Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. Jeff up in Madison. Great signal, as always. Who else west? Anybody else west not watching the Titans?
KN4 ZBY.
KN4 Zulu Delta Yankee. Did I get that right?
Zulu Bravo Yankee.
I think I messed that up last time.
I probably did too. It's Roger over West Nashville.
Yeah, how you doing, Roger? Hey, West Nashville, you guys got quite a bit, didn't you?
It didn't really seem that bad. I got up early. I could have slept in, but thinking I was going to have some bad storms. But got a little heavy rain, a little bit of wind, but it wasn't anything drastic.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell my Navy story one more time. When we went through some really, really bad weather, I don't remember where we were. I might have been in the Atlantic. I don't recall. And it really was rotten. I wasn't getting enough sleep that night because I was up half the night with whatever, was standing on a watch or something. I woke up and I felt so bad. It was just like, it was one of those things where I guess if you had a serious depression, so to speak, and you were ticked off at the world, really, that's what it was, because you said, how can I keep living like this? And I promised myself I'd never, ever complain about the weather again once I got off of this shit. And I try not to do that.
I guess so. Yeah, can't really do anything about it.
No, you really can't. I mean, that was that quote from Mark Twain, I believe, who said that. He says, everybody complains about the weather, but nobody does anything about it.
Hey, by the way, can you tell me the difference in my signal? I got that new Diamond F22 in the mail today and got it set up.
Well, it is a good signal. You're bouncing up around, I bounced over S7 to S9, but I guess I should record what those are. I didn't, it's a good signal, don't get me wrong, but I can't remember the difference though.
Copy that. Well, I can hear a little bit better than I could on the J pole, and still dealing with elevation, but I think it's going to work out a lot better.
Yeah, and again, the whole issue to me with antennas, and I've said it before, is it's the biggest and best antenna you can afford, And it's also what you afford and what you're trying to achieve, you know, in terms of how far out can I really hear based upon where I am in the terrain, and also what your XYL permit.
Copy that. Yes, sir.
All right, very good. And of course, how much how much gold bullion you got stacked away to pay for some of these expensive antennas and the towers that some of these guys have. I'm envious of some of the towers I've seen people have. Anyway, that was Roger. Kilo November 4 Zulu Bravo Yankee. Which antenna was that? The SB, which one?
I got the F22A.
Oh, yeah, that was a single band, wasn't it?
Yeah, I basically had to flip a coin. I was either going to get this one or the X200, and I never used 70 centimeters, so I ended up just getting this one.
That's probably a wise move because, well, I just think it's not that big a deal losing 70 centimeters. And I take it you don't have a 70 centimeter radio.
Not in the house. I do in the truck, but you know, if I want to talk 70 centimeters, I can just do it in the mobile.
I got you, yeah. I kind of wish there was more activity there, but that means there has to be more hands getting active on 70 centimeters. We even did a few nets on 70 centimeters. It was so unproductive we gave up.
I understand.
Well, very good. That was Roger in West Nashville, Kilo November 4 Zulu Bravo Yankee. Good signal with his Diamond F22A. Who else? West. Any late check-ins? Any extra late check-ins? Okay, we're going to move on to the lollygaggers. Lollygaggers. Who was it? Sandbaggers, lurkers, SWR listeners. I can't even get my words out. And I forgot the sandbaggers too. And the SDR donglers, preppers, end-time survivalists, and the flat earthers, if they're within the sound of my voice, which they should be. If they're as flat, I should be indefinitely hearing my line of sight transmissions. Any of those?
ER4AZ.
Hey, Tim, how you doing? Yo, Tim.
Well, looks like Baltimore getting ready, 11 seconds, getting ready to score.
We'll stop them.
Hope so. Hold to a field goal anyway.
Yep, that's why foot sports can be so exciting. You know, kind of trying to anticipate what's going to happen and then often be wrong. So how you doing otherwise?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Doing great. I'm still upright and taking solid food and walking around on my own two legs, so I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. You got a TV in there by you?
No, I don't. I really don't. I with football, these in my years in the last few years, while I still like football, I tend to turn on NFL.com and I'll watch the replays from the games I want to see, and it cuts out all the other crap.
Oh, that's doubling with you. I thought you was going to just now getting around to the south. You done got around everybody, I guess.
I did. Yes, you were late checking. Real late.
Better late than never.
Oh yeah, no, we're always happy to have you in. Who else? Anybody else? Anybody? That was Tim. He's in Murfreesboro, Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu, watching the football game like I think a lot of other people are. Anybody else late checking?
4AZ. Clear.
Yeah, very good, Tim. Anybody else late checking? Well, very good. And we'll move over to buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. Does anybody have anything they want to buy? Anybody that got anything to sell? They can. And if you do, you don't have the time to tell me now. You can put it up on the web, or you can email me with the list, and we'll put it up on the web for the rest of the 86 people or so to look at. Anybody got anything? No, nothing. And we'll move on to the 144.240. We had a total of 18 check-ins, I believe. 12, 13, 14. Yep, that was 18 check-ins. A little lower than normal, but our last two nets had 29 and 28 or something like that. I forget. It was a lot. And then we had a big breakfast, and now we got the Titans competing with us. I got to talk to the Titans, the NFL schedule, so they don't compete with us on Saturday nights. I don't know if they'll agree with that, but we can try. All right, we're going to move over to 144.240 upper sideband. We're going there now. K4P there. All right, this is K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Looking for check-ins, and we were starting from the south of 40. Please come now. Nobody from the south checking in on 2 meters sideband? The east, then, please come now. Nobody from the east coming in? K4PEW. Uh-oh. Who's coming from the north? Please come now. Is this on? I know it's on. I can see myself on the scope here. All right, we're going to go over to the west. Anybody? Might be just you and me there, Michael.
Sure sounds like it. Number 4, don't juggle turtles.
All right. People a little late getting in there. Norm from DTC. Good to have you in there, Don. DC. Yeah, don't juggle turtle. I always got that J missing it. T. Got it. All right. Anybody else? Let's do it again. Anybody, anywhere, please come in.
November, Quebec, 2 Bravo.
November, Quebec, 2 Bravo. Very good. Good signal in there. Anybody else? Anybody else? North, south, east, or west? Boy, we got nothing. One more time. Anybody from the south? Big south. Everybody's watching that game, I'm sure. Anybody from the south, please come down. East, please come in. North, come now. Anybody else left in the west?
They're all watching the football game.
I think they are. You're right. We're the only ones not watching the football game. All right. Well, very good. We got me, K4PEW, Michael, KM4YRF in Belshire, and Don, November 4, Don't Juggle Turtles. He's in Bon Aqua with a good signal. And then we've got Carl, November, Quebec 2 Bravo over in where is that again? I forgot the name where you are.
Brentwood.
Oh, yes, Brentwood. Yeah, the upscale area with Mount Juliet trying to compete with.
Not quite. I'm the token neighbor.
Yeah, one of the fellows who used to live in Franklin, he said, I live in the ghetto in Franklin.
Oh, I'll probably ghetto too, Brentwood. Make no mistake, Paul.
Well, let's put it this way. You may live in the not the ritzy section, but your real estate price is certainly skyrocketing.
Well, let's just say it looks good for retirement. You know, it's funny. I've been down here 10 years, and I'm not complaining.
Oh, I'm not complaining on Mount Juliet either. I'm pleasingly surprised.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you all in there. We had a grand total of 4, which is a little low, but we got a football game to compete with. This K4PEW closing the net. Appreciate check-ins, and we'll catch you next Wednesday, hopefully. Closing on that. K4PEW.
You got time for one more?
Oh yeah, who's this? Tim?
Yeah, KR4AZ. Halftime.
Did they score or not?
Looks like going, but what it looked like, they got it turned on. It looked like they got a field goal.
Well, that's a consolation prize. If they can hold them, that's great. Well, very.
Sure. All right, buddy. I'll let you get back in. I know you want to shut her down. 73s, KR4AZ clear.
Yeah, very good, Tim. You sound good from 2 meters. You really do. All right. Now I'm closing on that. Somebody snuck in there.
And to QB at 4050. Go ahead, Mr. Don. I'm still sitting here.